Okay, it's day 29. We kind of been scooting through this. There might even be an extra day in the epilogue. Burkeman wants us to take a moment and decide what matters. How are we going to find our way? And he starts with Marcus Aurelius in his Meditations, recommending a mental exercise we might today call zooming out. If you're feeling anxious or you're feeling overwhelmed or alternatively too full of yourself, try expanding your awareness of reality from your small patch of ground to the world around you. Here's what Marcus Aurelius wrote. Often think of the rapidity with which things pass by and disappear. For substance is like a river in continual flow. And the activities of things are in constant change, and the causes work in infinite varieties, and there is hardly anything which stands still. Consider this, which is near to thee, this boundless abyss of the past and of the future, in which all things disappear. How then is the one not a fool who is puffed up with such things or plagued about them, and makes himself miserable, for they vex them only for a time, and that time is short. Burkeman writes, and we're still with Meditations for Mortals by Oliver Burkeman, I'm always taken aback by the relaxation that floods through me when I'm reminded of my almost complete lack of importance in the scheme of things. We're really small in this universe, but that does not make us meaningless. Burkeman says, I'm not going to conclude by revealing the meaning of life, but I have some thoughts. And the first is that it simply need not follow from our cosmic insignificance that our actions don't matter. The idea that things only count if they count on the vastest scale is one more expression of our discomfort with finitude. Accepting that they might count only transiently or locally requires us to face our limitations and our mortality. And so to avoid that unpleasantness, as the philosopher Ido Landau has explained, we gravitate toward an unnecessarily grandiose standard of what matters, and then get demoralized when our achievements don't make the grade. Why shouldn't an anonymous career spent quietly helping a few people get to qualify as a meaningful way to spend one's time? Why shouldn't an absorbing conversation, an act of kindness, or an exhilarating hike get to count? Why do we adopt a definition of meaningfulness that rules those things out? If there's even a modest chance that the way we spend our finite time makes a difference, then maybe it is that sometimes we just have to know we're doing something that matters. Not using utilitarian calculations to try to squelch that felt sense. We have an obligation to it. Our very being, he writes, is inseparable from our context, or as Thich Nhat Hanh put it, we inter-are. My existence would be wholly impossible without countless people and things I standardly think of as separate from myself. Perhaps the ultimate expression of our finitude is the fact that we are irrevocably of the world, whether we like it or not. If so, then maybe our responsibility isn't to get our arms around it, nor to justify ourselves before it, but to embody as completely as possible the momentary expression of it that we are. It doesn't have to look big to be important. We get to pour ourselves into tasks that matter for no other reason, that something tells us that nothing could be more enlivening, more true to the situation in which we find ourselves. We get to proceed in this splendidly imperfectionist spirit, described by eco-philosopher Derek Jensen, who says, the good thing about everything being so fucked up is that no matter where you look, there's great work to be done. So before I sign off, I'd want to tell you that one of the most important things that I've done in my career was to spend a lot of time with one family in perpetual crisis. I could do it. I was available. I knew that I could help them. I spent a lot of hours just knowing that at some point it would make a difference. And years later, I found out it did when one of the young women in the family invited me to come and do her wedding. Doesn't seem like much, but it meant a lot to me. When you're not sure about whether or not what you're doing is making a difference, then, go ahead and do what your instincts tell you to do. And in that way, you'll be being good to yourself. I'm Cameron Watts. I'm the minister at Fairlawn Avenue United Church. Thanks for joining me on this journey. Oh, maybe I'll give you one more, but welcome. Welcome to possibilities.